You know, I believe that everything has ears in this world. The spiritual realm has ears. I mean, there's a lot of things that don't have mouths and don't have ears, but it still has the ability to talk and to listen. God said, if you don't praise me, the rocks will praise me. Right? That's crazy. Rocks don't talk. But this is the thing, right? I'm not making this about objects. I'm making this about the spiritual realm. And in the spiritual realm, a lot of people are dealing with forces and personalities. And they're also dealing with stumbling blocks, and they're dealing with mountains. That's how the Bible describes it. Mountains are problems. Problems that act like a stumbling block. It acts like a wedge between you and what you want to get. And then that wedge, that problem, that mountain, that has ears in the spiritual realm. That thing has ears. And one of the things that God wanted us to know from the get when He created us is the authority that He has bestowed upon us in identity. One of the forms of identity, once you know who you are and whose you are, you can draw. Okay, let me put it this way. I'll finish my point there. You can tell that mountain to move and it will obey you. Let me finish that point before I start a new one. You can tell that problem to leave and it will leave. Anything that's in your life that you don't want it comes often in a form of a feeling. A lot of people feel that they have things inside of them that I wish I didn't feel this way. I wish I didn't think this way. I wish I didn't do this. That's a mountain that has ears. Command it to go, and it will leave. And don't budge on your authority, because identity stays grounded even when the mountain doesn't move. That doesn't mean you move. That means you stay planted and rooted in the truth. And the truth is that it will obey you, and it has to obey you. Just like you have to train a dog. And the reason why I use this example is because I was trying to train my dog this morning. Just like how you train a dog, but it doesn't happen the first time. You're trying to get him to listen. You're trying to get him to obey. You're trying to get him also to understand that you are the authority. And you have to place yourself in position to where he understands that you understand your position to him. But it's a posture, it's a position, it's a status. It can even be a title, but it's more so a mind frame. And it's the perception that you give off to that entity, whatever it may be. It could be a dog, it could be a spirit. But once you know that it has to obey you and that you're not budging, that's when it obeys. Understand that part, please. Because the Bible talks about a person being tossed to and fro. Like, oh, today you're thinking this way and tomorrow you're budging, and you're all over the place, double-mindedness and all this, right? In the spiritual realm, the way that they respond is to somebody that's sure about themselves. Sure. Because they will test to see if you're sure. And when they push back on what you say, then that's the test. Will you just give up, or will you persevere and stick your ground and continue on? Through doing that, you're practicing your authority. And even if you think nothing's happening, you're actually getting more of a hold on your identity by doing that, practicing. Over the years, I've prayed for many people, and in the beginning, I didn't quite know what I was doing. I knew that, this person has a problem, and I'm praying for them, but nothing more than that. But as I practiced praying for people, God would take me in the spirit to the problem, and then I learned that in the spirit I take care of the problem, not through my words so much so, but in the spirit I can move mountains. And I started to learn, but it took that like persistence on my end to continue coming back to the same arena. And as I came back and I fought through the frustrations of not seeing what I wanted to see, as I fought through all of that red tape, I eventually got to a place where I understood things from another dimension, from another a deeper standpoint. That the revelation there is that it wasn't the outer appearance, it was the inward knowing of who you were in reflection to God, in connection to God, in sonship to God, and speaking from that place of, I'm not guessing, I know. And that's what they pay attention to, the fact that you know, right? So they fight you very hard in the beginning of your transition to being born again and being a new creation. They fight you very hard to make you believe that you don't hold anything of value. They want to train you in a roundabout way to believing that nothing you say or do is relevant and it's not going to change a thing. But that's a test. It's a test of your faith, and they're trying to sow doubt. You have to see it from that standpoint, because that is the truth. So once you pass these tests and you persevere, and you will be elevated, and you will go to an arena. It's like a curtain behind a curtain, so to speak, and that curtain is like taking you to another place where you have awareness. You didn't have it before, but now you have understanding. You didn't have it before, but now you have clarity. You didn't have it before, but now you can be more precise with your prayers. You didn't have it before, but now you have eyes to see. You didn't have it, but all because you persevered. It didn't just come. You persevered and you got to these levels and stages. And so practice that.